Pride Month is coming to a close, and you may have noticed that corporations have handled it a bit differently this time. Let's talk about this and more with my guest tonight, Andrew Eisen. He's the founder and president of Windmark Concepts. Up late with me tonight here on the Final Five. It's been a while since I've talked to you. Good to see you again.
Jim, it's great to see you as well.
We are talking about, look, in the last several years, we've seen corporate America really embrace LGBTQ issues, support, advocacy, branding. But we have seen, especially this year, a bit of a shift in that mindset.
So, Jim, let me just sort of recap a little bit where we were and how we got here. 2 years ago, one of the things I think I had even spoken to you about was companies that were accused of rainbow washing, companies that just literally wrapped themselves in rainbow colors and they were dripping in rainbows. The pendulum has swung so hard in 2 years, it's kind of scary. And you can say, what happened? Well, there have been, as we all know, this is not a secret, culture wars, and culture wars that have been fabricated, that have been launched by right-wing media, by right-wing politicians, that have had a significant impact on this business.
We've certainly seen that play out. I know in the way of the Dylan Mulvaney situation, in which she was not sponsored by, not hired as a spokeswoman for, but given a personalized can of beer to celebrate 1 year of womanhood, and that set off those culture wars that you spoke of.
Well, it's true. I mean, what you had there, Jim, was a marketing outreach that prompted a rather unforeseen transphobic, to be honest, and broader LGBTQ backlash manufactured by hostile cultural extremists. What happened was, and we'll call that, just for your viewers, the Bud Light fiasco, because it's a very good way to refer to it, was they made a strong, sound business decision. The business decision was to reach out to a social influencer, a young one, with 10 million followers that wanted to, or the brand wanted to reach, a starter audience. Bud Light's an inexpensive product. It's an entry-level beer. And it was a sound business decision. I think it was executed poorly. I think it was a good business decision, but it was executed poorly. But worse than that, Anheuser-Busch had a very, very bad reactions to it, and it only exacerbated a bad situation. So this Bud Light fiasco created something that I've called rainbow worry. And what does that mean? It means that no brand in America wants to have to face its shareholders, as Anheuser-Busch did, and say, we took a hit. Their business is down. So what we have now is we have brands that have become very reticent and very worried, frankly, about being called the next Bud Light. I think the days of Burger King wrapping themselves in rainbow-colored foil and Nabisco filling 7 layers, that's a lot of layers, of rainbow cream, I think they're done. But what I think you have is you have companies that are really being measured, smart, and savvy, and nuanced in their approach to this consumer segment.
And do you think that obviously, as somebody who works in branding and somebody who works on that realm, that might actually be more beneficial in the long run, not just for their image, but for business?
If I might, I'll just give you an example. I think the perfect example of that is Target. Target in 2023, for right and wrong reasons, took a huge hit. And they had to go on with their earnings call and state that they took a hit. And what they've done is they've come back with what I call a rainbow-wise approach. And that's where I think companies are now today. They've scaled back. They've become much more specific and measured in what they're doing. They are targeting in a different way. At the same time, and this is the most important thing, they're not abandoning the community. They're still very much supporting the LGBT community, but they're doing it with a balance of their commitment to the community as well as the bottom line of the company and their responsibility to their shareholders and stakeholders.
Andrew wrote a piece about this. I'm going to push out a link on our social media channels. But Andrew Eisen, thanks for the insight on this. Good to see you again.
Jim, it's great to see you, and thank you so much for your time.
Our pleasure. Final Five is back after this.